I'm Andrew Oyedola, President Nigerian Student Society, and also I'm here to represent the Race and Equality Advocates. We are covering a podcast concerning experience of the societies, and we have chosen the Nigerian society and of course the
Indian society.
So here we have
Amira. Hi, I'm Prisha.
I'm Jadisola.
We have some questions here for Amira, and then we would like to have you get an answer to them. First, how do you think your society contributes to building a sense of belonging among the students?
Well, currently I'm here as the secretary of the Indian Society, and I was previously the role administrator in the Sudesi Society. So I would like to start with the idea of the Sudesi Society. So previously last year, our ex-president and our current president, Sneh Mehta, they took over the idea of representing people coming from the Asian background. So that includes countries like India, Pakistan, China, Afghanistan, countries like them. So over there, we advocated the idea of equality and the idea of welcoming people with open arms. So even when we started with the Sudesi Society, so I was a student from January intake. So when I attended the events, so I'm telling you my personal experience over there. So I was a new student, but the society was so helpful in everything. Like I had some issues with my accommodation thing, so they helped me out and they included me in their own committee. So it goes the same with everyone who comes to a society. We help them in networking. We help them in enjoying Indian culture, and they learn new things about our food, our cultural dance and folk dance. Recently, we had a Navratri event as well, which was a collaboration between Indian society and the Sudesi Society. So over there, we had people coming from Nigeria, Chinese people, Australian people, and some also Asian British people coming up. So it was we include whenever we are in a room. So we try everyone is not coming from different countries. We are all there together as ARU students, and we enjoy ourselves out.
It's great. Yeah. You got class. So that's great. I think. Is there any particular activity or initiative given your explanation now that you noticed has really been effective? Is there any particular activity that you can point out as an example that you think it has been effective in terms of creating that sense of belonging among the members of the society and of course the students?
So basically all the events that we have are more of cultural and festival based. We celebrated a lot of festivals like Ganpati. Ganpati is a lord back in India, back in Hindu culture. We celebrate it for around 10 days in India, but then we obviously didn't have the chance to do that here. So we celebrated it for 3 days. It was a 3-day event where we included a lot of students from different backgrounds. India in itself is a very culturally diverse country. So to bring people from different states, because each state represent different culture and different language. So we have linguistic barriers and cultural differences in one whole country. So bringing all of them together during Ganpati event was one of the major tasks that we accomplished during that event. Along with that, the Navratri event that she talked about right now, there were students, European students, along with few Nigerian students as well, who joined us and who learned the folk dance called Garba. So Garba is a folk dance from the state called Gujarat in India. We had a 2-day event where we prayed to this one goddess, and we basically taught students who came and joined us those dances. So all these cultural events, they help us portray our culture in a way where it's knowledgeable, and we basically express how our culture is so diverse, yet we are still united. So this is what we've established so far.
That's so great. Although, does Jade have anything to say to you, those two quick questions on behalf of the Nigerian students? What do you think is about a Nigerian student that helps to create that sense of belonging?
I think in the aspect of we've always had like we've always created like hangouts, meetouts, and different events for people to come together, share ideas, have fun, help each other grow, ask questions, especially for the new people that are just coming in. And then for we that have been in for quite a while, it's been a roller coaster. So we understand there are still more people coming. And then it's not everybody that knows. Even when we came in, most of us that has been here for months, we had issues, we were struggling. Till we had people help us, put us like in the right directions and tell us to do. So now that we are already in that phase, like we've passed that phase, the people that are coming in, we also need to do the same thing. And in terms of trying to like settle in whatever ways they need help and all of that. So
that's so great. I think I can relate with that. We're trying as much as possible to see how the new students can be part of. Of course, we run an orientation program every trimester, and then we run a kind of a bi-monthly get-together. And I think we had one with the Pakistan Society, and of course, we would love to have one with the Indian Society. So moving on to the next questions. How does your society integrate new members and ensure that they feel included? Okay. I mean, your new members, how do you integrate them so that they can feel they can have that sense of belonging, they can feel included in society?
So basically, whenever there's a new member coming up, or even like we also host open events. So if a person who has just come to attend the event, so they are very so we actually advertise our idea, how our society works and how welcoming we are. So if a new member joins in, we basically introduce to them our family of Indian culture, and along with other people coming from different backgrounds and different countries. So over there, we also coming from different areas and so far away from home. Basically, the most important thing is food. So that is what I feel. So Indian society is like they provide Indian homemade food to people. So that is one basic thing that connects people coming from different areas. And new students, when they feel home because they are eating homemade food and they are able to interact with people in their own language, and even if people are coming from different backgrounds. Supposedly there were two Chinese girls, and they were actually very intrigued by the Indian culture. So when they came up, so we taught them how to do art that is veneration of the goddess, and they enjoyed it so much. They sat down doing the drawing of the Garba dance, and it was really amazing to host them and to tell them how the Indian culture is, and they really enjoy it.
Wow, that's so wonderful. That's so great.
I would like to add to that. Along with all those things, we had like a welcome fest during the Freshers Week. In that, we had like an Indian society stall. So we made sure that we, when new students come in, we have like a one-on-one conversation with them. We tell them more about our society and how the society works and how they're always welcome. We hosted open events for students so that they could, get the idea of how we conduct our events. And after that, they could take their memberships if they wanted to. So there was always a one-on-one interaction with new students, with either Amira or me or the president of the Indian Society, Mr. Sneh Mehta. So we made sure that, they know more about the culture, about the society before, they invest their money in our society membership. Wow. Yeah.
That's so great. That's even the best way to, when they know the value that they are getting from the society, of course, they're more than willing to get. And that's super. And of course, on our own side, I believe Jade will agree with me that also, like I mentioned the other time, we do our orientation program. Of course, the school has its own orientation, but we understand the orientation everybody is coming from, and we want to see how we can integrate them before they have a clear understanding of how to reintegrate into this society. And of course, like Freshers Week you mentioned, we had a store there, and we made them one by one or one-on-one, and that creates a kind of bond, and that's so good. Moving forward, do you have anything to say?
Nothing much. You've said quite everything, because I've witnessed events that we've had, hangouts, Nigerian society and Pakistan and others like that. So this is for us to get to know each other, because most of us come to the same school, but we don't know ourselves. So this is just a way for all of us to come together as in not just Nigeria, like everybody is welcome, like, and everything like that. So we've had like couples of events just to get to know people, familiarize ourselves with each other, and get to put ourselves around things that needs to be done. And we try to support each other when there's any backlash or anybody's lacking behind. So I think in that aspect, we've been really supportive, and then we've been watching out for each other, and we are really doing great.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for that addition, Jed. This is, like I said the other time in the introduction, we are race equality advocate. And then, of course, we try to see even the minority group, that their voices are heard, and everybody that feels that sense of belonging. In your society, how do you ensure that religious and non-religious perspectives are respected, valued within society? People who have their different religious view, either religious view or even non-religious view. How do you ensure that they are well respected and valued in society?
So, of course, when we come from a country like India, we have so many religions and cultures and castes. So it's something like we even have people who do not believe in structural form of God. So when we have our events over there, so all our events, like sometimes it's like Ganpati celebration or Navratri events. So there is a goddess or a god sitting, and we do venerate them. So at that time, a person who is supposedly Muslims do not do arti or the veneration of the god and goddess. So we stand there, and we, everyone is like observing the event, and after the event, there's like this warm vibe coming up from the room. It's so good. It's so like, it feels family. It feels home. So we do distribute the food, and everyone is like, and everyone enjoys to dance. So that is one part. And again, we do promote people coming up their traditional attires, and we do have fashion events, like people are walking on the ramps. So everyone has a chance, have their own part of display over there. So it's not like we are focusing on one thing. No, we support all the religions and people coming from all the cultures and backgrounds.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right. So along with that, we've always been welcoming towards people who are extreme religious. We are also welcome to people who are agnostic or atheist. So our events are not specifically religion based. We do, worship our god and goddesses, but then more than that, the event is more about having fun, getting the home-like feeling, coming together, enjoying food, good music, and dance. So more than it being about the god, yes, the festival is about the god, but then more than religious differences, I think it's about how you get sense of belonging, how as an international student you might be missing your home. So it's just a way of coming together and having a good time. That's it.
That's so wonderful. Like you rightly said, even in Nigeria has various religions, various cultures, and even the February 25th national election shows a kind of the level of diversity in terms of political views. So we try as much as possible to encourage people to engage in non-religious or non-political discussion. Now, of course, that's as a way of dividing. But what we want to create is that's unity and sense of belonging for everybody. So no matter the religious view you have, no matter the political or ethnic view you have, we ensure that everybody feels among. And that's so wonderful. And I think that's to some extent, address the next question on how your society facilitates meaningful conversation, how you encourage meaningful conversations and activities among students who have different religious background. Or do you still want to add anything to it?
Yeah, I think we have. So basically, what I mean by meaningful or a constructive conversation among people coming from different backgrounds is you do not. Okay, so take the event, any event that, for example, we did a Sufi night. So that is like people who enjoy Sufi music. So over there, we didn't, promote the idea or discuss the thing that, okay, you're coming from Pakistan, you're coming from India, you're coming from like an Asian British family, or people even coming from Nigeria. We were like, we tuned up together and on the night of like the idea of Sufism. So that was the idea. Like whenever we do any event, so the idea of the event combines people together. So when we sit there, we discuss what people, people with same minds. So they sit down together and they talk. And race or people coming from different backgrounds is never an issue over there. You want it?
That's so good. I think we also, especially when we do have seminars or conferences that focuses on people's challenge rather than on whatever the political or whatever. We just focus on what are the general issues that students, especially international students who are just coming in, what are the general issues they face, and whatever program we want to create, we make sure that it addresses that. Even when we're having social gathering, we ensure that it focuses on how people's mental well-being can be increased rather than discouraging. And I believe if there's any way that we see Nigeria united, this is one of them. So that's what I saw in your explanation as well, and that's so good. So the next question: have you ever faced any challenges or obstacle in trying to foster a sense of belonging within your society? And how did you address them?
So basically, when I was a new January starter, I started in 2023 this year only. So when I joined society, before joining the society, I was like, I'm so new. I was like, should I go or not? Should I network with people or not? So, but I attended the first event that was like a games night with Indian food called biryani. So I went to the event and everyone was so welcoming. I went there and our president, she was Komal, and she, she hugged everyone and she was like talking so playfully to everyone who came there. And we all, we actually promote, like everyone in the event, they promoted like everyone comes together and during the event time, they danced and they were singing and, it was a very fun night. So, that fun thing is like common to everyone. Everyone likes to have fun. And when, people are not judging you, whatever you're doing. So that in that way, I never felt that there's any, differences or racial thing that I'm facing in my society. It was very welcoming. And, that journey, like they found that I'm interested in the community and joining the committee thing. So I was even offered a role on my responsibilities. So that was a thing, like in our society has never been, saying like, okay, you're coming from this, so we won't be addressing that. No, we are like very welcoming to everyone. So I don't think I ever faced a problem over there.
Basically, what she said was from her own perspective and point of view, because she was a new starter and she felt really welcomed. Basically, when she came, that was the first event Dilse Desi Society, our sister society, conducted. And because it was the first event from Dilse Desi, and we had started the society back then, like it was our first society that me, Mr. Sneh Mehta, Miss Komalpreet Kaur started. So I guess the challenges that we faced was what kind of maybe food that we'd like to keep to, create a sense of belonging, to connect people to the roots of India or the culture that we were trying to celebrate. Along with that, as I told you, India is a very culturally diverse country. So bringing people from different cultures all together, along with, welcoming students from different continents and countries can be a little challenging sometimes, but then I think we've always had a smooth transition in doing it. While preparing for the event, it might be a little chaotic for students because we have a lot of work. But then when the event is actually going on, I don't think so we've ever faced a challenge in terms of, creating a sense of belonging. Yes.
And there's another thing that we have a feedback mechanism. After every event, our Instagram is open for DMs. And even after the event, our president stands up with a microphone and he asks everyone if you have any feedback for our event. And even if you are feeling not so okay going with them right now, you can, of course, DM us. And we do receive feedbacks and we work on them for the next time. So that's it.
That's a wonderful strategy to identify to let people know what they feel about. And of course, it's a better way to improve on the next. On our own side, there are challenges, I must say. Like she's trying to point out, bringing together people from different culture, different orientation, different religious background, it's quite challenging. And of course, coupled with the fact that when Nigerians come here, they come, of course, with the aim of advancing their career, and the expectation is high. So society saying things tend to be, they consider it as secondary. So the primary thing is what they are here for. But we try to let them know that, of course, we recognize your primary priority, but this society thing, we can't really rule out really working together, and then having that sense of belonging, which gives you the peace of mind to even achieve whatever you want to achieve. So we try as much as possible. And like you also pointed out, we try to create a feedback to know how they feel and what way can we improve. And that even takes us to the next question. Do you have anything to add to that?
Concerning the challenges, if there was any challenges being faced, for me, I would say it was very easy for me to fit in most of this group, but there are some that it wasn't really easy for me because sometimes I feel like the odd person in most of the society. So I had to look for a very befitting one I would be able to express myself. I was going to be able to relate well with, which is the Nigerian Association, which was I fit in properly. Like, it was welcoming. Everybody was welcomed. In fact, my first time, I've not even had a physical gathering, but it was just online, and then everybody was. So for me, I didn't have much challenges. It was just good. I literally fit in perfectly, so it's been really good.
That's so good. Anyway, that's one of the advantages of society, as I said. Of course, your purpose of being here is paramount, but really having that sense of belonging through society creates that relaxed mind, and of course, it eases any mental health challenge. So, going to the next questions. It's about whether there is any initiative or strategy that you think could be implemented further to enhance that sense of belonging among societies. You already said the things that you've done to overcome, but are there other initiatives you think should be embraced by the society to further enhance that sense of belonging?
So basically here we are actually opening our Instagram stories with the links so that people come up with their own idea of an event. So during our events at the last, we ask people to come up, and if they have any idea for any future events, they might brainstorm the ideas with us, and we hold another event. So considering a person coming from a totally different background from us, we Indians. So they give us an idea we should have an event like this so that people coming from different in that country or that place can also have a great event. So that is how we are actually planning to include more and more cultural diversity to our Indian culture. And Prisha, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think majorly before putting in any strategies and policies, I think the leader should be inclusive. So the society that we have, Mr. Sneh Mehta, I think he is a very inclusive leader. because he has always been open to suggestions from his own committee members and the members that we have for our society. Our committee members, the team is in itself so culturally diverse that we all have expertise in different things. She being a Muslim girl from relatively northern part of India, I'm a Jain girl from the western part of India. We're completely different people, yet we're united by one society. So I think that's where our society has done a very great job because of the inclusive leader that we have. That's the aim we went through when we started Dil Se Desi Society, and then once we took over the Indian society, I think we're doing very well in terms of creating an inclusive environment. As she said, we already have like a feedback system where we can take ideas from people to see if they would like to conduct any events with us, so that they can have a sense of belonging, because everyone is an international student here and everyone feels homesick at one point or another. So being open, being communicative, and being respectful of others is something very important to create an environment in which you have a sense of belonging.
Oh, that's great. We can't underestimate the role of mutual respect. That is when you can actually feel among. On our side, we sent some feedbacks to some on expecting feedback from students, and one of the things I noticed that is common to, and of course, that focuses more on their priority, the major priority of being here. And then what I would like to see in regards to that with the feedback is a kind of African conference, not only Nigerian, and a kind of African conference where there is an aspect of the race equality advocacy that we call decolonization, and trying to decolonize the curriculum. And if we're talking about creating that sense of belonging, decolonizing, then there should be an African education being taught. So that can be achieved through African conference. I think that's the next way the initiative. There's an initiative I want to see going forward. Do you have any to add?
I just say everyone is loved and is looked after, because as much as you speak out, because there's not how you're going to be dying in silence. Nobody's going to know what is happening. So until you speak out and, this is what I'm going through, we might not be able to tend to all issues or solve everything, but at least speaking out would actually go a long way. And then that's to show that, we love you, we are here for you, because it's not easy. You can't do anything alone. So you need support from people. So I encourage people speaking out when there's a problem. You don't have to die in silence or say, nobody cares, because there's this mentality of nobody cares about you. But I feel like as a society, that's why we are there. If you can't speak out to the public, at least the society is there. You can speak to anybody, any of the committee. So I think it helps, like, to show that, this person, to feel like, you're with us, we are one happy family.
I think I can relate with what you're trying to say. People do, especially from outside, tend to and that's one of the beauty of the society. They believing that they are alone. Even I'm a PhD student. The PhD itself can be isolating. So not if there are no societies like this, it will be difficult to have someone to speak with and then to relate with. So I think I can relate with what she is trying to point out. Okay.
I would like to add to that. I remember this very vividly, like during Freshers' Fair, when a lot of students came in, there was accommodation crisis in Cambridge. A lot of students were struggling for accommodation, and university also couldn't really help that much because, there's only limited support they can give. So I remember this, our president, us, and other committee members, we were on our feet helping students. They would come. We couldn't really find accommodation for them, but then just them venting out, telling their struggles, they feel good. They feel relieved that, okay, if nothing, that I do have someone to support me here. If I need to vent out, I know this person with whom I share maybe relatively the similar cultural background is here to help me in this alone in this country where I've flown away from my home. As an international student, it can be very overwhelming to adapt to new culture, to adapt to a new city, and along with that, having an accommodation crisis can be very difficult. But I do believe that we did a very good job during the Freshers Fair, and helped students, just went out.
I'm actually proud of the Nigerian society because it's way more like things we also do. We help people, except if you don't speak out, there's no. So the ones we see, the ones that reach out to us that, we have these issues, we try to like help and then blessing the problems like they are burden. Even if we don't do 100, but at least we try to show like little support or something.
And even to add to that, the school provides a lot of support, and people who are not aware of. And that's one of the things we do to see, even if we cannot solve it, of course, we are not even meant to solve it. We can always signpost you to those areas that many people are not aware of. And I think that's one of the good role in the society plays. Lastly, what would you advise for new students who are considering joining a society or a club on their way to maximize their sense of belonging and engagement?
We as a society, we are like trying to get people. We are trying to create a sense of belonging, like a home to everyone. So this has to be a two-way thing. You should also be willing to be a part of us. So during that time, if anyone is coming up, when we are promoting our society, maybe it is in the Freshers Fair and the Welcome Week. So at that time, we do tell them, okay, this is how this is how we do our thing, and this is how like you should come to our events, and that is how you'll feel more like home, because you'll be meeting people coming from your background and culture. You'll be able to network. You'll be able to talk. Coming to such a faraway country from your homeland. So basically, you struggle to even talk to people. It cannot always be a formal conversation with everyone. You need to talk in your own cultural language. So at that time, that is how I say like you should also be willing, and we are like always there with our open arms, welcoming you.
Along with that, when students come, they're kind of introverted. I mean, there might be two types of students. They might be really extroverted or introverted. I think we've done a good job at, recognizing students who are feeling a little shy, who are introverted, or, who want to be participate actively in the event, but just because they are shy, they're not able to do it. That's when, we take our role. We go, we talk to them, we ask them if they are doing well. We have these events coming up. If they'd like to participate in it, maybe perform or just maybe attend our event. So I think it should be like a mutual connection between both of them. If you're willing to take one step ahead, we're willing to, take 10 steps ahead with you. So that, and another thing would be to, actually go on the Students' Union website. Not a lot of students know or actively use the SU website that we have. Probably just browsing different societies, because each society has, most of them at least have a link to their Instagram or their WhatsApp group. So actively, searching for societies that you think you might fit in, texting on Instagram, or like if you have an official email ID, probably sending them an email so that you can know more about the society, get to know the president or one of the committee members in person, which could actually help you, feel that sense of belonging in the society. Once you take that one step forward, I think being a part of that society or attending events would be relatively easier.
Well, that's so wonderful, and I think I can only add to that to encourage people as well to ensure that if you are thinking of joining the society, we are more than welcome. As she rightly said, taking one step, we are more than willing to take even the other 9 steps to make it 10. And of course, the Freshers Fair also allows us to even reach out on rather than waiting for them. There are Freshers Fair and there are activities that we engage in to reach out to them to ensure that, because most of them sometimes they are not aware of this society, and like you rightly said, people need to also visit the SU page. And so there are so many societies there that you can always align with, and which will provide whatever you need will be met. Do you have anything to add, Chid? The last shot?
See, for our Nigerian society, we've been doing quite all right in that aspect, because we have like a monthly Friday night virtual meeting that we do. Come together to talk about pressing problems, how we can solve them, and how we can help people. And then we also reach out to people, because most times we hear, oh, so person isn't this good, I'm going through this. So we want people to know that joining a society is just like the best thing to do, because the committees, presidents, everybody reaches out to know that everybody's okay. You're not alone. We are all together, and if there's any problems, we're here to support you and give you the best we can. So I think we're doing really great.
That's okay. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, this is a podcast presented by the Arts, Humanity, Education and Social Sciences aspect of the Race Equality Advocates. And then we've had in the conversation so far, I myself, Andrew Oyedola, representing the Nigerian Society as the president, and of course representing the Race Equality Advocates. And in the Race Equality Advocate, we have so many people who have ensured that this comes into fruition. And one of them is Dominic, Kuda himself, and then Dario. They've been working together to ensure that this comes to pass. So lastly, I want to thank you guys for being here. So nice to have you all, guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.